Son.
You know, it's kind of advertising for burglars to come by and know exactly what you got for Christmas and know exactly what's in your house.
Getting those empty boxes from Christmas out of your home could attract suspected burglars. We're going to explain how to keep your home safe from these holiday Grinches. Plus, a series of fights forces the closure of several malls all across the country. This morning, we're looking into if any of these incidents are related. In nearly 1 month since the wildfires started in Gatlinburg, a look at how this tourist town is trying to rebuild.
Open a video.
Atlanta Live starts right now.
Open.
This is Atlanta Alive with Vinnie Politan and Sheba Russell.
And video.
Well, check this out. Shelter dogs and cats picking out their very own Christmas gifts. Every year, this shelter sets up a special tree so that people can leave donations, and one by one, each and every cat and dog got the chance to come out and pick what they wanted. Look pretty excited out there. I'm just scoping out the offerings.
It makes a difference when you can pick out your own gift.
It sure does.
That cat just blew it, though. He just walked right over a box that just said seafood on it.
Right?
Oh,
that's
they're all
There's
over.
food out there,
like-
too. He's like, I got this.
Yeah, ready to
Decked
go.
out for the holidays, too, with little collar.
They just go for the plush toys.
Yeah.
You can't let kids do that.
Oh, no.
Because they're like, ooh, I want,
It'll be an argument.
Yeah.
ooh, 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 ooh. You know, it's like, yeah.
That wouldn't work right.
No, not at all. Good idea, though.
Terrible.
Cheers for them.
Yeah, I like that idea. Great idea.
Not so much cheers for what we're seeing outside,
Oh,
though.
I know. You know, when you start talking about a foggy morning, you know, you think London. You don't typically think Atlanta. Well, when you walk out the door this morning, if you have to go to work or you're running some errands, take a look at that. I think that photo pretty sums it up. I came out of the Roswell area this morning, and I ran into some fog as well. It didn't look as thick as what they have there in Noonan. City of Noonan right there, shrouded in low clouds. Low clouds are going to be a big part of our forecast today, as we do have that dense fog advisory in effect. That dense fog advisory in effect until 9 o'clock this morning.
Traffic
Take a look at the counties that we're most concerned about. It's pretty much almost everybody. Widespread visibilities of 1/4 of a mile or less. Hazardous driving conditions, especially the biggest concern. Make sure you give yourself enough distance between you and the car ahead of you, just in case they brake a little early. You can respond accordingly. Here's a look at some of those visibilities. 1/2 mile visibility in Marietta, 1/8 of a mile in Atlanta, 1/4 of a mile in Carrollton, and 1/2 mile visibility in Peachtree City. I'm just picking a few, but you can see almost everyone seems to reduce visibilities this morning. Right now outside here in Metro Atlanta, 56 with some fog, winds out of the east at 3 miles per hour. It is the wind that has a lot to do with that fog. If we can kick up the winds a little bit, it can mix out the clouds and kind of give us improving conditions, but we are expecting fairly calm winds for the bulk of the morning. Eventually a frontal boundary is going to come through. It's going to help dry us out and shift those winds, and that's going to help mix out those clouds, leaving us with still more clouds, but more mid-level clouds coming in for the latter portion of the day. So for the next 12 hours, take a look at the temperature. Still mild this morning, starting off in the mid-50s. We'll see afternoon highs today in the upper 60s and near 70 degrees. Cloudy conditions expected, and also about a 30% chance of some showers in today's forecast as well. I'm even throwing in an opportunity for an isolated thunderstorm coming in for the late afternoon as that cold front approaches. Today's a 7 on your wazometer. That's why we break down your weather from 1 to 11, with 11 being the best. Today is a 7. That's a look at your weather for your traffic this morning. Here's Brad.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Tracy, that dense fog advisory could be a factor for some folks that are out and about doing the driving today. Some of us have to come back to work. I did. You do. All right, here we go. 85 southbound approaching Brookwood right there near Buford Highway. We had a couple cars mix it up. Most of it off to the right. You can see the travel lanes on the left side are open. Hero's still out there with some flashing lights. But what we need to watch out for, also the slick streets. So we got to watch out because we had trouble on 75 northbound near Brookwood with an overturned vehicle. So the roads are a little empty. Folks think they can kind of go a little bit faster than they should, and then you encounter some of those slick spots. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Once again, we'll take a peek at 85 southbound just as you're approaching the Brookwood split. Here are your big three. Don't expect a whole lot of change from that. 75, 85, and 400, all in pretty decent shape. We'll keep an eye on this, and we've got our photographer Mike out and about, and he'll be giving us some live shots as the morning progresses. Jennifer, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Crash. Right now, police across the metro are warning people to be careful when cleaning up this holiday season. Naima Abdullahi joins us now live, and this is a situation where your trash could actually make you a target, Naima.
Yeah, Jennifer, police departments want people to be on high alert as they unwrap those expensive gifts during the holiday season. And the big advice they have for people is be wise, don't advertise. Big boxes left outside near your trash can be an indication for what presents were inside the home. Electronics, video games, flat screen TVs, that's an easy way for thieves to know the list of items they can steal. The big tip is to wait until your trash pickup day to put the boxes outside and break down the boxes so the labels are not visible.
No.
Because they know what's in your house. They know if you got the new 16-inch or if you got the new iPad or whatnot.
We know that this is a problem that has emerged
5
at
more
least in this
seconds.
last week.
I feel like somebody
we
wrote
don't
up
know
the
if it's
light
going to continue,
this
but we want to
weekend
let
or
our
something
citizens
like
know
that.
that it is occurring.
Q.
And if you have any worries or concerns, officials want you to take your trash directly to the dumpster instead of putting it on the curb if you have any worries that someone nearby was watching. And if your address is on the boxes because it was delivered to your home, you're advised to scratch it off so your personal information is not available to the thieves. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Naima.
Transition video.
A look at your headlines this morning. 3 stolen car suspects on the run this morning. Police say 4 men were inside the stolen vehicle overnight when it ran a red light at the Joseph E. Boone and Northside Drive intersection and T-boned another vehicle. Police tell us they were on the lookout for the car, and the crash happened once they spotted it. 1 subject was arrested, but the other 3 were able to get away. No one was injured. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will join President Barack Obama at Joint Base Pearl Harbor today. It'll be the first time a Japanese Prime Minister has visited the memorial on the site of the 1941 attack. The visit comes 6 months after President Obama became the first sitting U.S. president to visit the Hiroshima Memorial for victims of the atomic bombing and World War II. Cobb County Police searching for a suspect they say tried to rob Dixie Gun and Pawn Monday night. Investigators say the owner and another employee were inside that store with 2 customers when 2 masked men came inside. That's when one of the suspects fired at the store owner. The owner then returned fire, and 1 suspect was killed.
3839 is done. This is our last video.
A 14-year-old recovering after being hit by a Clayton County police cruiser last night.
Especially
investigators say the teen was trying to cross Jonesboro Road near its intersection with Battle Creek Road when he was hit. Police say the officer immediately stopped his cruiser and helped the teen until emergency crews arrived. The teen has minor injuries. The Georgia State Patrol is investigating. Several malls across the country were shut down after fights broke out a day after Christmas. This is some cell phone video from inside a mall near Dallas where police say nearly 115 teens were fighting each other at the food court. Police were able to stop the fighting and ended up closing the mall. Investigators are looking into whether there are any connections to other fights that broke out in other states as well.
That's the number one thing they're going to investigate,
to see if this is some kind of premeditated thing across the nation. If it was something that the kids here heard and maybe decided we want to be part of this.
Well, police say up to 4 teens received citations for fighting. There were no injuries reported. Now, for those in the British Commonwealth, the day after Christmas is known as Boxing Day, which for them is similar to Black Friday here in the U.S. Authorities have found no link connecting the fights and disturbances across the country to that British holiday. However, social media was flooded with reports of the chaos. Many of the initial calls to police came in as reports of shootings or shots fired. But investigators soon found that the massive crowds were teens fighting. From New Jersey to Arizona, malls were evacuated and several people arrested. Again, thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. All right, taking a look at your weather now. Today and yesterday, very different from what we saw on Christmas Eve and the Christmas holiday with all that sun and the nice warm temperatures. We're now seeing a lot of fog and some cooler temperatures.
Oh, that's right, Jennifer Bellamy. We're definitely looking at cloudy conditions out there this morning. Clouds in the form of low clouds, meaning fog across much of the area. So I thought this particular shot would be a really good one to kind of bring home the concern this morning. Because of the fog, we do have, again, that reduced visibility for a number of different counties. We do have a dense fog advisory, in fact, until 9 o'clock this morning. These locations can see visibilities of a quarter of a mile or less. Here's a look at some of the current visibility. 1 1/4 mile down in LaGrange, 1/2 mile in Peachtree City and Thomaston, Look at Atlanta, 1/8 of a mile visibility, 1/4 of a mile visibility in Carrollton, 1/8 of a mile visibility in Marietta, as well as in Athens. Again, the visibility concerns will be a big part of the morning, at least until around 9 a.m. And then we're expecting improving conditions, 56 degrees right now in Metro Atlanta with, again, that dense fog. And winds right now fairly calm, coming in out of the east around 3 miles per hour. Over the course of the next 12 hours, what can you expect?
We're going to open
the fog,
traffic
again, will be a big part, at least up until around 9 o'clock in the morning. And then we'll see cloudy conditions from 11 o'clock all the way to 5 o'clock in the evening. Afternoon highs again expected today near 70 degrees. And today on the Wizometer, which is where we break down your weather from 1 to 11, with 11 being the best. Today we're going for a 7. Cloudy conditions for the morning, clouds for the afternoon, a few showers, and maybe even a rumble of thunder for the late afternoon. That's a look at your weather. For your traffic, here's Craft.
Open.
Thank you so much, Tracy. I'll take a 7. I got no problem with that. But what we will have a problem with are these slick streets out here, folks. Got some brand new trouble on 675 northbound right near the perimeter reported, but I think our speeds are fine, indicating not a whole lot of slow stuff. In fact, look at the trip times down on that south side, including 85 from Coweta to College Park, wide open, 6 minutes from Sonoya Road to the perimeter. No troubles on 75. We'll take you from 2081 down in Hampton, McDonough, all the way up to the perimeter, and include 675 to that perimeter from 75, and that's just an 8-minute ride. I checked the old Sky Tracker, and well, that's the ramp right there, 675 at the perimeter. And if there's a wreck out there, it is quietly hiding in the darkness. We'll talk about those 20s in my next report.
Son, 5 seconds
I got cold
to pass.
and scared, and I thought, you know what, I just have to keep walking because someone has to pass.
A mom treks 30 miles in the snow to save her family. Talk about love, right? We'll hear her amazing story of survival next.
They're up in 3, 2, 1, break. What was that music? It was very...
Music, on the other hand, was off.
Yeah, that was something. Minute and a half. Coming out to camera 2 in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She's up.
A mother walked nearly 30 miles over the course of 36 hours to save her son and husband from freezing temperatures. This after they all got stranded near the Grand Canyon. But on her way to get help, she got lost herself. Trisha Hendricks from our sister station in Phoenix spoke to Karen Klein about how she survived when she thought she was on her own.
The car got
2:15, walk again.
And for an hour, we tried to get the car out. We had no cell service.
Tracy for the
Speaking from a hospital in St. George, Utah, Karen Klein recalls what she physically and emotionally endured after getting stranded in the snow.
And I have professional and recreational experience, lifelong in the outdoors. So I said, well, you know, I'll just walk up to the main road. I can do this.
She had no idea it would be a painful and scary trek. At about 2:30 Thursday afternoon, she decided to head out to look for help for herself, her husband, and their 10-year-old son.
And it started to get dark. I got cold and scared, and I thought, you know what, I just have to keep walking because someone has to pass.
Karen didn't return Friday, but her husband and her son were able to hike to an area where they had cell service to call for help. They were both able to get medical treatment for cold exposure,
if they said
including
where
frostbite.
He was,
I had walked about 26 miles, wedged myself into under an evergreen tree.
She didn't want to fall asleep or give in to hypothermia. The next day, she saw a sign that said East Rim Visitor Center.
Started eating aspen twigs.
I don't know, see, my stubborn butt would probably be like, no, I'm doing this. I'm going to find it. 1 minute.
After 9.5 hours, Karen finally got to the vacant visitor center.
Broke the glass with my elbow and crawled into the house. And around 2:30, I heard the knocking at the door. I heard people outside, and I saw the flashlight.
I would like to think any man of mine would be like, no, you get confused in the mall. You're staying in the car. You're going to get eaten by wolves.
I broke your window. Don't arrest me for breaking the window. And they were just like, you've got to be kidding me.
From there, they took her in an ambulance to a hospital in St. George where she's still being treated.
They said in that 36 hours I walked about 30 miles.
Staying positive helped her push forward.
I
no, that's going in. It's like, you're going to die. You're going to see a wolf. You're going to try to pet it.
Letting my parents bury
You're going to think it's
Through
your friend. It's going
this,
to eat out your...
she's learned a few things. to always be prepared, expect the unexpected, and to
15.
never take life for granted.
It's just
But I
starting
am
to sort of
pretty
sink
hard-headed.
in.
It's
so
just
10.
still so surreal.
Oh, I'm sure it'll.
I played video
pretty hard,
games.
like a
I've
ton of
survived in the
bricks
wilderness.
in the next
5.
you know,
If
24
you
to
just
48
hit things
hours
and it
as I'm
gives you
kind of
stuff.
learning to walk again.
Stand by. And my cue.
Wow, an amazing story. Fortunately, we're not dealing with any of those conditions, but they can certainly be dangerous out there, Tracy.
Oh, that's right. Do you have plans for New Year's Eve or possibly New Year's Day? Well, take a look at your forecast.
What is this slow jazz? What are y'all doing?
Showers. Temperatures slightly more seasonal, back to the 30s for the morning, 50s for the afternoon. But take a look at New Year's Day. 70% chance of showers, a wet start to 2017. What do you think about Baby New Year there, Crash? What do you think?
Baby New Year looks more like Cartman from South Park. All right, folks, we're talking about that dense fog advisory. How about that? The East Expressway, and there is that fog and some slick streets. We'll check the 20s for you on both sides when we come right back.
It never said that.
What is it break? This music. Or. Alright, open a weather, then traffic. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, the Christmas spirit alive and well in Atlanta's West End neighborhood, thanks to several people who pitched in to help a neighbor.
That's right. A woman had just had her fence redone when taggers spray painted it. That's when Larry Carter posted on his community's Facebook page asking for help. Now, it wasn't long until he saw an outpouring of support from other neighbors, and on Monday afternoon, several of them scrubbed off that graffiti. Larry says they still have plans to restain and then go back and weatherproof that fence as well. That's awesome for them to step up and do that and help somebody out, especially you just get something done, and then somebody comes and destroys it.
I mean, as a kid, we did a couple of mischief things, but not that.
You don't think about how that impacts somebody.
I know,
so
it really does.
Wonderful that they
like
step
I
up and help.
Everybody steps up. Speaking of stepping up, check this
Transition
out.
video.
In Seattle, a boy with autism got a great surprise from a nightclub. Noah wanted to know what it was like to be up on stage playing music for a crowd, so he got invited on stage to play a song.
10 seconds.
Overwhelmed. There was no words to say of him having something he's wanted to do come true.
Keep practicing. You're going to be a good DJ one day, I can tell.
Cue.
I love it. Noah took home his own set
come
of
back
DJ
to
equipment and professional
the video for the
headphones
tease.
so he can start practicing. He even has his own DJ name. Yeah. What? Illuminati Pieces?
I wonder where that came from.
How does that come up with Illuminati Pieces?
I don't know about that one.
I'm not sure you want to be part of that clique, young man.
Maybe not.
No. I mean, no.
Stick to the tune.
Yeah.
Stick to the tune.
Yeah, man.
All right, coming up in the next half hour for you, how the tourist area of Tennessee is rebuilding just 1 month after those deadly wildfires. And 'tis the season for divorces.
Up music for deadly wildfires.
One of the busiest times of year for divorce attorneys. We're going to explain why coming up.
Oh, and divorces. Oh, in 3, 2, 1, break. 5, 4, 3, 2, open.
This is Atlanta Alive with Vinnie Politan and Sheba Russell.
And Bio's up.
All right, Starbucks is at it again. They are embracing a new message for the new year. How about look good, feel good? They have unveiled 3 new drinks called the Tuxedo Collection, each with dark and white chocolatey goodness for you. The drinks are the Tuxedo Mocha, the Tuxedo Hot Chocolate, and the Tuxedo Frappuccino.
Does it cost extra to look good and feel good? Because they usually charge for everything.
I'm sure it does.
And everyone's going to go out and try one.
I don't know. It's like these days you almost have to get a sponsor to go to Starbucks.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You know, Starbucks is a lot of money.
It's true. And I don't like to try stuff at Starbucks because I'm like, I don't like my one drink and I don't want to deviate. So spend money on something you don't like.
Exactly. And if you get something to eat, Starbucks is like $30.
Yeah, and you got to do all that on the treadmill too, because you got about 800 calories to burn away.
You're right.
And your tuxedo. Okay. Okay, so if you're thinking about taking a jog this morning, I don't know if I would. The visibilities are really low.
Wear a cowbell.
I know, that was a real stretch, right? Okay, let's take a look at what's going on outside. And here's a look at the city of Newnan. Newnan, I picked you guys because we have a live camera out there kind of showing what you're dealing with, and you're dealing with what most of our viewing area is dealing with, and that is going to be some reduced visibilities. We have a dense fog advisory this morning. That's in effect until 9 a.m. Look at the counties that are going to be impacted, and that's almost the entire viewing area. The gray that you see shaded here, those counties, that's where we could have reduced visibilities less than 1/4 of a mile until 9 o'clock this morning. And take a look. Looking at 1/8 of a mile right now in Atlanta, 1/2 of a mile visibility from Thomaston, Peachtree City, Carrollton, Marietta, as well as into Athens. Now, how long is it going to be this bad? Well, again, that dense fog advisory. In fact, until 9 o'clock this morning, we have fairly calm winds, so nothing really to mix out those low clouds. And then we're going to also expect clouds with the opportunity for showers during the day today. 30% chance of showers as a cold front comes in, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm coming in around 1 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon as that cold front approaches. Today is going to be a 7 on the wazometer. This is why we break down your weather from 1 to 11, with 11 being the best. Today we could only muster up to a 7, but you might like the afternoon high near 70 degrees. That's a look at your weather. For your traffic is Crash.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Well, I'm going to stay out of the way while we take a peek at our driving shot there. There's Mike, our photographer. He's out and about, just passing 400 northbound, up around Old Milton Parkway,
come back to
heading
camera
up his way through Alpharetta. Looks pretty good there. He's got the low beams on. Don't see a whole lot of fog, but even though we've got that dense fog advisory, don't be fooled when you see this, because you come over the river or some of those low-lying areas in the neighborhoods, and all of a sudden you can't see, kind of like the shot Tracy just had from Newnan. All right, let's get to the map and try and show you some of the other areas around here, starting with Midtown. Pretty good right here, 55 miles an hour. In fact, we'll take that all the way through the city, right here down to Hartsfield Jackson, and look at this, surrounding it, nothing but a speed limit ride. If you got to pick someone up or drop somebody off, you're in good shape. 55 miles an hour, your average speed on the connector in either direction, and there's a good look from the connector right here at University. All is well. J. Bell, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Crash. Well, it's been almost 1 month since that wildfire tore through Gatlinburg, Tennessee, killing 14 people. Naima Abdullahi joining us now. And how is that recovery process going, Naima?
Jennifer, big improvements for Sevier County as they recover from the tragic wildfires we saw earlier this month. Just yesterday, all local burn bans were lifted because officials say the wildfires are either completely out or nearly 100% contained. Now, the burn bans by the governor, the burn was banned by the governor for much of the region. It expired earlier this month, but 15 at-risk counties continued throughout the ban, and it's a welcome sign in the recovery effort, but groups leading the efforts to help hundreds of people in Sevier County still want volunteers.
So we have so many volunteers all over the nation that are here to help our community, and there's so many local individuals that have literally been here every single day to volunteer.
And if you'd like to help families affected by the wildfires in Sevier County, make sure you hit our website for all the information, 11alive.com.
Unless I took that early transition video,
right now,
that runtime and outcue are off.
For a man who made off with car batteries. Police tell us the accused robber crawled under the front gate at G&H Construction on James Jackson Parkway and stole 12 batteries. Police say he had an accomplice who drove the getaway car, a black Dodge Challenger. If you have any information, you're asked to please contact police. Coyote sightings in crowded Piedmont Park are sparking concerns about safety for pets and people. An 11 Alive viewer sent us this video that he captured of a coyote as he rode his bike through the park a few days ago. It's not clear how many of the animals are there. Piedmont Park tweeted about the coyote, saying they are aware of the animal and that they encourage all visitors not to feed it and to keep a safe distance away. America's Poison Control Centers received a call every 14.5 seconds in 2015, totaling more than 2 million cases. And while the overall volume of calls decreased slightly from 2000, more serious cases increased slightly. 57% of cases involved pharmaceuticals, including dosing errors and taking the wrong medications. Well, the famous Waterford crystal triangles will be installed on the New Year's Eve ball in Times Square later on today. The ball is covered with a little over 2,600 crystal triangles, which will be broken into four gift group designs. These groups are the gifts of kindness, fortitude, wonder, and imagination.
And split is up.
Later on today, a historic meeting at Pearl Harbor. Japan's prime minister will visit the memorial of the 1941 attacks for the very first time. Edward Lawrence has more from D.C. And Edward, what can we expect from that meeting today?
Edward's full.
Well, Jennifer, we can expect unity and a show of support in that meeting today. This is the very first time a formal visit from a Japanese leader will be made to that historic site. December 7th, 1941, the Japanese, 2,400 Americans were killed when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in a surprise raid. And now the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is not expected to apologize for that attack. However, he will express sympathy for the victims. You may remember President Obama last May visited Hiroshima there, setting the precedent or paving the way for this historic visit here. The president during his visit also did not apologize for the U.S. dropping 2 atomic bombs on Japan, basically ending World War II. Now, the two world leaders are expected to echo the same message of unity, that message being we should never again have the horror of a world war. Reporting live in Washington, Edward Lawrence, back to you, Jennifer.
All right, thank you so much, Edward.
And split.
All right, 5:37 is your time. We're going to check in with Tracy for a look at your forecast today. A little more than a little foggy out there and misty too.
Yeah, it's a little misty out there. Starting things off this morning, we do have some low clouds.
Tracy's
so I'm showing you the shot
Hey, I might want to talk to Tracy. That's the second time she's did that in a split.
It's so dense, and we do have again the reduced visibilities. We have a dense fog advisory in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. Here's what we're seeing currently: 1/8 of a mile visibility in Atlanta, 1/2 of a mile visibility from Carrollton all the way down to Thomaston.
It's not in front of the camera doesn't bother me. It's just she keeps changing it to that outside shot, and it flashes black, and the split. Her weather graphics go to dip to black and come back up.
A frontal boundary approaches, giving us a 30% chance of showers during the day.
It's just her advancing. I don't know if it's her advancing the graphics or there's something weird going from that outside shot.
From 1 to 11,
but it is popping up black over the chroma key.
In the 50s, but we will end up very mild as we do have again a minor frontal boundary that's going to be coming in, but southerly winds will be moving in advance of that, and that's going to help kick up our temperatures well above average for this time of the year. 56 degrees outside right now in Metro Atlanta. Looking at again those foggy conditions and fairly calm winds veering in out of the east. 100% humidity, completely saturated. Coming up, we'll take a look at your New Year's Eve forecast as well as New Year's Day. In the meantime, we'll take a look at your traffic with Crash.
Open.
Thank you so much, Tracy. We're going to go right back outside. Our photographer, Mike, there he is, our traffic tracker, taking a ride on Georgia 400, just spun it around, headed northbound all the way up towards Old Milton.
We'll go to video next for the
southbound. Whoop, shot froze up a little bit. We'll reset that for you, no worries. But things are good. He's encountering some patches of fog as we thought, but right now not too bad. What's getting a little bit rough right here, you see a little bit of yellow right here. We've got trouble on 285 westbound, that ramp to 75 right here in the heart of the Cloverleaf, Cobb County. Multiple cars involved here, and we see a little bit of yellow, so some slowing there in that area. The overall top end perimeter not that bad. 14 minutes from the junction over to the Cloverleaf, but you see that speed dropping a little bit, indicating we do have a little problem out there. Opposite direction in pretty good shape. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I do have one of those sky trackers right on it. You can see a little tough. If you look down here, you can kind of see an arrow. There it is right there in the fog as we try to readjust. So a little bit of slow stuff for folks getting through the Cloverleaf. We'll keep an eye on that in just a moment. All right, J Bell, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Crash. Still ahead for you this morning, Splitsville in the new year. Why January kicks off the season for divorces. Next.
And jib is up. And 3, 2, 1, and break.
Just make sure.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she's up.
Well, many divorce attorneys say January is their busiest time of year. And as Isabel Mascareñas from our sister station in Jacksonville, Florida reports, many couples are purposefully waiting until after the holidays.
Package.
Marital bliss. But then one day,
2 minutes, 4
happily
seconds,
ever
each
after
other
is
will
no
open
more,
out to a
and it
split.
often falls apart around the holidays.
Immediately,
Oh, yeah.
January 2nd, the phone is ringing off the hook. They want it done, and they want it done now.
Sarasota
Yeah,
divorce
wait till
attorney
after
Heather Bird
Valentine's
says
Day
she starts
so you can
seeing
buy me
couples in
something and
November
then
and
leave my
December.
house.
They say they want to consult with me, but they don't want to do anything until after the first of the year.
If there's a problem in a marriage, this time of year is the worst for it. And here's why. Everybody's having a good time. People drink more. So if you're already angry and you drink, you're likely to say something you don't mean later, which then creates more conflict.
See, I never thought that about drinking. I always thought that these were already my thought processes. You just gave me the courage to say it.
Jealous. Don't drink when you're angry. If you're already mad at someone, this is the wrong time to try to talk to them. Get over being mad first, then talk.
Money issues can strain a relationship this time of year, too.
Don't overspend for the holidays. It is not a holiday of buying gifts. It's really a holiday of forgiveness and giving and sharing. And you can share with yourself without spending money.
But some couples have their minds made up. Bird says January and February is her busy season.
So it's
I can. Do you want me to say no?
As soon as the holidays are over and reality sets back in, they realize changes haven't happened. The relationship hasn't changed, and they're ready to move forward.
Bird says social media is at the center of many divorces she sees.
I have clients on a regular basis that say their spouse is leaving them because they're with their significant other who they dated in high school, and they're in their 50s. Really, you don't even know that person anymore, but they want to believe they do, and they want an escape.
10.
And they don't realize the grass is not going to be greener on the other side.
But if divorce is your decision,
be kind to each other.
And open.
All right, 5:46 is your time now on this Tuesday morning. Tracy, you're waking up to a lot of fog all across the metro.
Yeah, we've been talking about the opportunity for fog. Yesterday we had a lot of that drizzle across the area, plenty of clouds.
We'll open the traffic next. Then we'll have a video for the
Some fog out there this
teas.
morning
Jib
right
will
now in
take
Metro
us to
Atlanta.
break.
Winds are fairly calm coming in out of the east at 3 miles per hour. Air temperature is 56. Take a look at the dew point. It's 56 as well, giving us 100% humidity, meaning we're completely saturated. And that's why, again, we are looking at those low clouds. Here are the areas we're most concerned about this morning for the dense fog advisory, and essentially almost everyone. That dense fog advisory in effect from northern Georgia all the way down to the south. It will be in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. So here's a look at what we are seeing right now. 1/8 of a mile visibility in Atlanta, 1/2 of a mile visibility in Peachtree City, Thomaston, Athens, 3/4 of a mile visibility in Gainesville, Marietta, Carrollton. So you can see the concern for the morning. Again, that dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. Winds right now coming in out of the east fairly calm, but eventually those winds will begin to shift as a frontal boundary comes in. That's going to give us about a 30% chance of showers throughout the day today, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm for the afternoon. Today's going to be a 7 on the wazometer. That's where we break down your weather from 1 to 11, with 11 being the best. Today's going to be a 7. Now today's also going to be another mild day as well. Winds will start to veer out of the south. That's going to help warm us up. I'm going for an afternoon high near 70 degrees. For the morning, all about the low clouds, temperatures in the upper 50s. For the noon hour, a few likely showers coming in with that frontal boundary, 65 degrees. And then 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I do think we're going to warm up to near 70 degrees today. And again, I did put in an opportunity for an isolated thunderstorm. It's a small threat, but a threat nonetheless, coming in around 1 to 5 o'clock later on today. So a dense fog, again, that's going to start off our weather headlines. The sunshine will be returning as early as tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that myself. And New Year's Eve rainfall, yeah, we do have an opportunity for some rainfall coming in New Year's Eve as well as New Year's Day. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Fog today, primarily for the morning, 30% chance of some showers coming in with that frontal boundary, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, we could see some clouds early, but sunshine building in. Another system comes in Friday, with Thursday rather, with a 50% chance of showers. We will clean out nicely for Friday. Friday right now is my pick of the week, but take a look at New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. 30% chance for Saturday, 70 going into the new year 2017. That's a look at your weather. For your traffic is Crash.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Speaking of rain, let's take a look at Mike, our photographer, who's out and about driving around traffic tracking. Look at that. Windshield wipers. See? We can actually see some of that water vapor in the shot. I hope you guys can see that at home. But you see a little bit of the water vapor in the air from that dense fog advisory we have. And then you see some of the water droplets right there forming on his windshield. and then there go the windshield wipers. Now, what's that doing is, well, it's getting a little bit slick on those streets. A lot of the wrecks we've been seeing have been single cars sliding off the road, one even overturned. All right, let's get to the maps. We know what's going on out there. A little bit of wet stuff. That's why we had a multi-car crash, 285 westbound on the ramp to 75. That's going to recover. Everything's been moved off to the right. Don't worry about that at all. Let's take a quick look up 75 and 575. Didn't think so. Not a whole lot happening. Look at the trip times for both 75 and 575. You guys are in pretty good shape. And that's what's left of our wreck. On the far right of your screen there, only one car. Everything has recovered. J. Bell, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Crash. Ahead for you this morning, pop star Taylor Swift bringing some Christmas cheer to one of her biggest fans. And at 96 years old, he might be the oldest Swiftie. We're going to tell you about the special surprise coming up.
Engine. In 3, 2, 1, break. Very nice. All right, crash to the desk.
That song sounds like Taylor Swift.
That did sound like it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, open.
All right, well, here is your inspirational Love is Real story for the day. Okay. Check this out. A man in England was seen running to the airport with nothing but mistletoe in his hand. Someone tweeted the site, which has been shared and favorited thousands of times. People online were obviously left with many questions, and eventually the mistletoe man, as he's called, was caught wind of his online fame and responded. Turns out Tim Brown was rushing to surprise his girlfriend, so the internet got a little bit of a happy ending. I feel like I need some more than that. Why was he rushing? Why was
I know. What was it like? Was he proposing?
Yeah.
Was it, you know, was this a girlfriend time?
Did he just want a goodbye kiss? Was it a welcome kiss? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't get it. Well, maybe this one will do it for you. Taylor Swift made a home visit to a very special fan. Take a look. Cyrus Porter, 96 years young, just profiled by a TV station for his love of the pop star. He's even been to 2 concerts. Then out of the blue, she shows up to his family's Christmas party, sang a couple songs. That's a pretty great Christmas present for a super fan. They took tons of pictures with Cyrus, and he even got to show off his World War II memorabilia.
He was getting down with it there, too.
I mean, you know, if that's what's going to happen, I've been to a few Taylor Swift concerts, too. I'm a big fan. Why don't you come on over to my house?
I'll come too.
Am I still dip
Wife's going to be at work all day.
All right, hit, Taylor. All right, coming up, we are following some breaking news out of Buckhead, where a local rapper was shot at a Waffle House. We're live with the details coming up at 6.
Thank y'all.